Back on Sportsbook, Betting Inside today. Time for Big Game Breakdown. As always, SBR Odds and Sportsbook Review. Check out the rating guide and make sure you're betting with a trustworthy source out there. This is first game of the Round 2 series between the Cavs and the Raptors. Now, the series price is all over the place. $5.50 in Vegas, even $6 here at the Mirage. But you see $4.50 at Penny, $5.65 at 5 dimes. Early money on the Cavs. Game 1, 6.5, 209 the total. Cleveland 1-6 last year. All 4 wins by 19 or more. I would throw that out as the Raptors have made. They've got an Ibaka and Tucker earlier in the season. I also would throw out what happened the final day of the regular season as the Raptors got their only win against the Cavs in the regular season. Now, the Raptors 1-11 straight up in their last 12 playoff series openers. They've added Carroll, Ibaka, and Tucker the last 2 years because they know the East goes through LeBron. They have enough bodies to wear him down. Here's Casey on the keys to holding him in check. 3-point shooting after his penetration, his post-up, his ISOs. It's 3-point shooting and rebounding as the third thing. They're kind of all lumped together because one creates the other. It's a chain reaction. We have to make sure the progression is there of how we stop each phase of it. There's the quote there from Casey. And you look at the regular season. In the 121-117 when LeBron had 28, Lowry had 28. The first time they met, it was 94-91. DeMar went for 32. And then the other game, the Cavs won 116-102. LeBron had 34, DeMar had 31, and Lowry had 24 as well. So surprisingly, 2 of the 4 games were high scoring, but Toronto added some key parts down the stretch in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff here we can throw out. It's just interesting to note that the price on the Cavs is legitimately higher in Vegas, minus $5.50, minus $6, versus offshore in that $4.50. You said $5.65, 5 dimes actually $4.65. But you know, there is a significant and legitimate split between the Vegas numbers and the offshore monies, and all the money in Vegas has come on Cleveland. But you know, what do we throw out? Do we throw out the fact that the Cavs beat this team? I mean, they beat them like a drum in the 3 meetings in Cleveland. What, 115-84, 108-89, 116-78 in the postseason last year. You say, yeah, okay, that was last year. You say, all right, the meeting April 12th didn't matter because there was no LeBron, Love, or Irving. One thing that does matter for the markets, the betting markets absolutely paying attention to the fact that Toronto's had such a lousy track record in the series openers. 1-11 straight up in the 12. We remember them losing game 1 at home again this year. And even though they're an underdog in this game, as opposed to being favorites in many of those other recent games where they have been in a game 1 situation, it is honestly a Raptors team where there are plenty of bettors out there that aren't excited about getting on Toronto until after Cleveland waxes them in game number 1.
Yeah, our stats guy likes Toronto in the series, and I agree with him. I mean, this could be the team, the only team in the East that can beat the Cavs because they're the only team in the East that plays defense. And they also have some matchup issues because you have Lowry on Kyrie, and Kyrie's near the bottom in defense for point guards. DeRozan will be on with Smith on DeRozan. He gives up size there too. So can Toronto get to the free throw line as well? DeRozan 5th in the NBA, getting to the line, 8.7 trips to the line a game. Lou said, quote, I just think we have to do a good job on both of those guys. Make them make field goals and not free throws. That's my biggest thing. Keep them off the line. Make them make shots. If we can do that for a workout for us, a workout in our favor, end quote. But what I liked in Game 5 of the win against Milwaukee, all 5 starters were in double figures. And we'll see how Casey decides to do it this time because they got a big boost when they put Powell in the lineup and put Valanciunas on the bench. It's a well-balanced team. I think 5 guys can score here.
Sure, and it's really creates some matchup problems for Cleveland. Because, look, you know, Lowry should be able to score on Irving. When you talk about the defensive matchups for Cleveland against DeRozan, as you talked about, DeRozan finished 5th in the NBA in free throw shooting. Is he going to get those calls in this series? You know, Tyrone Lue's basically saying, we got to make sure that he doesn't get those calls in this series. You look at the quote from J.R. Smith on DeMar DeRozan, quote, making him take tough shots, keeping him off the free throw line, not fouling. If you can get out of the game with probably a foul or 2, him shooting 5 free throws or less, that's pretty good. So it seems like Cleveland has a lot of mental energy put into the fact that they do not want to foul DeMar DeRozan and send him to the line, and that makes a whole lot of sense. But when you think about DeRozan on the floor, how do they even get Kyle Korver into the ballgame? I mean, it really is an issue because anytime Korver's on the floor, you have to expect DeRozan to get into the game immediately. So there's no way that Kyle Korver is going to be able to guard him.
What do you think here? I mean, what do you think of the series, the total? For me, it's dog or pass. The price is too high. I think Toronto's got a shot in this series, but Cleveland doesn't play any defense. You know, I know they swept them, but it was the lowest combined points in a sweep in NBA history, and I think the Pacers stink, and they gave the Cavs fits.
Yeah, I certainly think that Toronto has potential in this series. I will say this, though. If the Raptors don't get calls, if they don't get to the free throw line, they're not going to win this series. Not in 5, not in 6, not in 7. They have to shoot free throws if they are going to beat Cleveland. And shooting free throws against the Cavs, you might get the calls some games. I wonder if they're going to get the calls enough in order to make it happen.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.